Today, we're going to dive into one of the most transformative moments in all of human history. I'm talking about a period that didn't just tweak things, it completely tore up the old rulebook and remade our world from the ground up.
I mean, really think about this question for a second. For thousands upon thousands of years, life was tied to the land, to the seasons. And then, bam, in what is, historically speaking, the blink of an eye, everything, and I mean everything changed. That's the incredible story we're going to unpack. So, before we get into the nuts and bolts of it all, the steam, the steel, the machines, we really have to get our heads around the sheer scale of this thing. It's wild to think that life for your great-great-great-grandparents was probably more similar to life in ancient Rome than it is to your life right now.
So, what was the Industrial Revolution, really? Well, at its heart, it all boils down to this one massive shift. It's the moment we went from making things by hand, painstakingly, one at a time, to making things with massive machines on a scale that was just unimaginable before. And it all kicked off in Britain, right around 1750.
And I honestly cannot stress this enough. The speed was the truly revolutionary part. This wasn't some slow, gradual change. Nope, this was an explosion. A shockwave that just ripped through society, changing how people worked, where they lived, and even how they thought about the world itself. Okay, so the big question is, why then? And why Britain? It wasn't a coincidence, and it wasn't just one thing. It's better to think of it like a recipe. You need a very specific set of ingredients, all coming together at just the right moment to cook up something this world-changing.
And here they are, the 7 key ingredients that created this perfect storm. First, you had a revolution in farming. Then, you had tons of natural resources just waiting to be used. You had people with money ready to invest. You had brilliant new inventions popping up. A stable government, which is huge. Markets overseas to sell things to. And finally, a booming population to do the work and buy the goods. You see? A perfect storm.
And believe it or not, it all starts with food. See, new farming methods and this thing called the enclosure movement meant that Britain could grow way more food with way fewer people. So what happens to all those people who used to work on farms? Well, they packed their bags and headed to the cities, becoming the giant labor force that these new factories desperately needed.
And what did they find when they got to these new factories? They found technology that must have seemed like straight-up magic. It really took off in the textile industry. This machine, the spinning jenny, let just one worker spin a whole bunch of spools of thread at once. It completely shattered the old limits on production.
Okay, so now you've got a new problem, right? You're making thread faster than ever before, but you can't weave it into cloth fast enough. Well, that's where the power loom comes in. It automated the weaving process and just cranked up the amount of cloth being made to an incredible degree. But if there's one invention that was the true beating heart of this revolution, it was this, the steam engine. This was the engine that could do everything. It was the power source for the whole new world. It could run the factories, it could pump water out of mines, and most importantly, it could power the trains and the ships that would move all these new goods across the country and around the globe. So, with that recipe in place and the engine fired up, the world was about to be completely remade. The ripple effects were massive, they were complex, and honestly, they touched every single part of human life. But this new economy, it was a classic double-edged sword. On one side, you have this mind-boggling explosion of wealth and production. Global trade boomed, modern capitalism as we know it was born. But, and this is a huge but, on the other side, skilled craftsmen were basically wiped out by machine competition. Wealth got concentrated in the hands of a very small number of people, and it kicked off a brutal new system of worker exploitation. And this economic earthquake created a totally new social structure. The old world of nobles and peasants was fading away. In its place, you had 2 new major classes. First, the bourgeoisie. These were the new rich, the factory owners, the bankers, the people with the money. And then you had the proletariat, the massive, massive class of workers who owned nothing but their own ability to labor. So, what was life actually like for this new working class? Well, this one number tells you almost everything you need to know. 14. Just let that sink in. 14 hours was a pretty average workday. And that was often in dangerous, dirty, deafeningly loud conditions, all for incredibly low pay. The human cost of all this progress was just immense. And you could see that cost everywhere, especially in the cities. I mean, they just exploded overnight with absolutely no planning. This led to horribly overcrowded slums, disease was everywhere, and for the first time, we saw pollution on a massive scale. The air, the water, it was all just filled with the waste from industry. It was the start of a problem we are still grappling with today. And the impact didn't stop at Europe's borders. These new industrial nations were hungry. They needed two things: cheap raw materials for their factories and new markets to sell all their stuff. This hunger fueled a new aggressive wave of imperialism. Colonies were exploited for their resources, and this created a huge economic gap between the industrialized haves and the non-industrialized have-nots, a gap that, in many ways, still defines our world.
Now, it's really easy to look at all this and think, okay, that's history. It's in the past. But the truth is, the Industrial Revolution casts a very, very long shadow. We are, right here, right now, living inside the world that it built. Its legacy is literally everywhere you look. The global capitalist system, forged in these factories. That deep inequality between different parts of the world, the roots are right here. The climate crisis we're facing, driven by burning fossil fuels, yep, that started here too. But it also gave birth to brand new political ideas. I mean, it makes sense, right? When you have this massive class of exploited workers, it's no wonder that ideas like socialism emerged, arguing that maybe the workers should be the ones in charge. Even things like the modern welfare state were created as a response, to try and soften capitalism's hardest edges. So, in the end, this story isn't just about the past. It's about our present, and it's definitely about our future. It's a powerful lesson in how quickly new technology can remake an entire world, for better and for worse. And that leaves us with a really important question to think about. If this is the world they built, what's the world we're building right now?